Now let's talk about the database SQL templates. So templates is a that's a very useful utility provided by Talend, and that's what exactly ELT does. So there are two concepts. One is the ETL and second is the ELT. ELT means extract, load, and transform. So this is way more efficient than the other one because it transforms the data directly in the database. And luckily, if you see here in the repository, Talend provides these SQL templates, and these templates we can configure with our databases, and with that we can perform a lot of ELT operations, and they save time and they reduce the number of components which we were supposed to use if we do the operations the other way around. So these SQL templates, they basically read the data from the database from one table and do some transformations and then insert the data in another table in the database. But there is nothing that's carried out uh, on the on the local source Talend side. So for this I have prepared basically two tables, and one table is going to store some information about students, and the second one is going to store some information about the courses and the fees of those courses. So in the first place, let's execute and insert this data in the database. mm, okay, so the file is open. Let's close the file. Okay, so now we should have the data in the database in these two tables. Let's have a look. Okay, great. So now we have the data. So we are going to use these templates, number one to perform aggregation operation, and number two to perform row filter operation. So with that I mean, if you see this table, so it has the BS computer science and MS computer science. So some people are attending the bachelor's, some are attending masters. So bachelor's has a fees of 1000, masters has a fees of 3000. Let's then move to Talend and see, because we plan to group the data on bachelor's and master content, and then we take the sum of the fees and insert it in another table which I have already created here. And let me truncate both of these tables first and show you what we have in these tables. So you see currently both of these tables are empty. So one is this aggregation and the second is shortlisted. Shortlisted means I'm going to select only those students from this table which have their age greater than 28. So they will be picked up and they will be inserted in another table. So let's switch to Talend and see. So if we were, so maybe let's go step by step. So deactivate and let's activate all of these ones. And if I consider this one, T SQL template filter rows, what you need to do is when you need to start from scratch, so just write template and wait. So you just need to select a template, doesn't matter which database. For example, if you select this template merge, so once you select it, then here you need to select the database, for example MS SQL server, and then you select the database and blah blah blah. Okay, all other things we discuss in these components which I've already configured to save time. So this is TSQL template filter rows. So number one, we need to define a source table. In this case this is students underscore general. And number two, we need to define a target table, which is students general shortlisted. And if you see the schema and the target table, maybe let me do this process from scratch for you. I think you guys will get a better understanding that way. So T template filter rows, and now we need to select the database, and we need to pick up the connection that we want to use here. And now source table name, we need to select the source from the repository. Select, so I already have that data in the database in the metadata. So this is going to be students underscore general. Select that. Schema is populated and the table name is also populated. Then you need to select the other one. So now select the other table, which is going to be students general shortlisted. So data from this table will be inserted into shortlisted table. We need to provide a condition. What condition could it be? Let me view the schema. So student underscore age should be greater than 28. This is the condition. Student underscore age is greater than 28. Great, great. So now we have it here, and perfect, that's it. So now this is going to populate the other table, and similarly we have another template which is aggregate template, and for this source table is students degree fees. This is the target table, and we need to group by using the degree table, degree column, and we need to take the sum of fees, and then we need to insert the data in the database. So then let's consider it like that, and then let's execute it. Great. So now this is done. As I showed you previously, there was no data in these two tables, and now let me execute all four, and we should have data. Yep, great. So as I said, all students who have their age greater than 28, they are inserted in this table, and basically the other one, which is the aggregate template, that has taken data from this table, and the sum of fees for bachelors and the sum of fees for the master's student, 5,000, 15,000. So that's how we use the database, well, the SQL database templates, pretty effective. And if you guys want, you can configure your own templates. So we have a couple of templates already provided by Talend. For example, if you select my SQL and system defined or aggregate, create source table, and blah blah blah. So these are the system provided templates. If you want, you can create your own templates, but you need to take into account the standard development procedures already mentioned on the documentation Talent website. So yeah, just have a look and define your own template. You see, like, this is somehow some standard names and parameters should be followed, and that's how you can create your own templates. But since this is ELT, so this is pretty much way more powerful. Yep, that's it for the SQL templates.